After multiple delays, the federal government of Pakistan was expected to meet today to discuss the much-touted 26th constitutional amendment. The federal cabinet has seen as many as 4 delays on this issue. Now, the session today is yet to begin. The federal cabinet was earlier scheduled to meet on Friday evening. However, it was later announced that a special cabinet meeting will take place on Saturday morning to approve the draft bill. There's been some drama since the last week around by an effort by the government to amend the constitution. The bill aims to give the political executive more power over the judiciary. Over the days, however, it has boiled down to a numbers game in the parliament, digging up an old flashpoint between the Shehbaz Sharif government and the opposition party led by Imran Khan. Both the government and the PTI are pitted in a tussle with the JUIF legislators. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, the chairman of the Pakistan People's Party, met with leaders of the Jamiat Ulema-e Ismail Fazl late last night. He claimed the JUIF is on the same page with the government. The PTI delegation also held a meeting with Imran Khan to seek further instructions regarding the ongoing discussions. Take a look at what some of the proposed amendments are. Starting with an increase in retirement age for Supreme Court judges to 68 from the present age of 65. Also proposed is a 3-year term for Chief Justice of Pakistan, a parallel federal constitutional court alongside the Supreme Court, and the authority to appoint the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court and the Chief Justice of the Constitutional Court to be transferred to the Prime Minister, based on recommendations from an 8-member National Assembly committee. Opening a fresh front, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf founder Imran Khan filed an urgent appeal with the United Nations Special Rapporteur on the independence of judges and the lawyers. However, getting the amendment through Parliament is appearing to be a real challenge. According to Pakistan's law, constitutional amendments require a 2/3 majority in both houses of Parliament. The lower house, called the National Assembly, has 336 seats, while the Senate, the upper house, has 96. The government needs at least 224 votes in the National Assembly and 64 in the Senate to push its package, which is appearing easier said than done. The Pakistan National Assembly has a strength of 336 members, which means a 2/3 majority mark is at 224. The government coalition has a strength of 212, falling short of 12 seats for a 2/3 majority. And for more on this, our Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik now joins us live from Islamabad. Anas, first up, why the delay? We know that Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, the chairman of the Pakistan People's Party, met with leaders of the Jamiat Ulema-e Islam Fazl last night after when the federal cabinet was originally scheduled to meet. And when I spoke to you last, a couple of days back, you had told us how the JUIF is instrumental in the passing of the bill. So can you just explain to us if the delay is connected to that?
Certainly so, Isha. The delay is definitely interconnected with regards to the JUIF's approval to get to the Parliament or to get on board with regards to this constitutional amendment. It is pertinent to mention that this is take 2 of the 26th constitutional amendment. Previously, before the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit, the government has had a failed attempt to table this legislation. They did not have the numbers. Now, this is take 2 after the SCO heads of governments meeting here in Islamabad, and the government still does not seem to have a consensus and B, the numbers. They're still short. For the past 2.5 hours, the Pakistan People's Party chair, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, is in a meeting with Maulana Fazlur Rahman at his residence, who seems to be the jack of all right now, of all the trades, if it is going to happen or not going to happen, because those are those very crucial crunch numbers of Maulana Fazlur Rahman's party that matter with regards to this amendment. Behind me where I'm standing at the Parliament. Behind me at this house, that is the presidency. Currently, there's a very important meeting ongoing between the Pakistani Prime Minister and the President. They're deliberating on the way forward because time is short, time is running out. The government wants this legislation to come through before the 25th of October, that is before the incumbent Chief Justice of Pakistan, Qazi Faiz Issa, retires. The opposition seemingly does not want him to continue. The reason the deadlock continues. Isha?
How much of an impact the PTI has been able to have on this? The last protest was contained owing to the security reasons cited by the coalition. How much of an impact do you think they'll actually create here?
Street protests do not matter what happens inside this very house where I'm standing. What matters is the numbers. The PTI has the numbers. The government or government allies want it a consensus-based amendment. Therefore, the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf has also been taken on board and in the loop. A PTI delegation met Imran Khan for the first time in 16 days. We're yet to hear on what the PTI founder had to say to the incumbent leadership with regards to this constitutional amendment. In a short while, the PTI will be addressing a press conference, so we'll get to know more on that. But when it comes to street power, there is no significant bearing. What matters is the numbers here and the government's and allies' efforts to have a consensus built so that if at all the PTI or other opposition parties get to come to power, they do not end up rolling back this very constitutional amendment. Isha?
Right, the street power is indeed to in fact send a message across. However, where do you think this is headed? The session is yet to begin. There have already been 4 delays so far. What outcome can we expect?
This is deja vu. This is deja vu. 2 weeks ago, we were still here and we were having this conversation how the session was being delayed once, twice, thrice, then a quadruple times, then the 5th time, then it was moved to the next day. So 2 weeks later, we're still standing back on the same ground. As I said, it's take 2 for the 26th constitutional amendment. Still does not know where it ends. The government wants it. The desperation is quite evident. They want it to come through. They've been making taller claims. The Pakistan People's Party has been making a lot of compromise. They say that this is in the best interest of the people, to the point that the Pakistan People's Party has backed down from their core demand of forming a federal constitutional court to aligning itself with the demand of a federal constitutional bench under the Supreme Court. So Bilawal Bhutto Zardari is trying really hard to have this consensus built across the board. But right now, there seems to be some fundamental disagreement, especially with regards to 2 things. Article 8, which talks about fundamental rights of the Pakistani citizens, that has now been dropped. And also with regards to Article 199, that talks about suo motu powers of the High Court judges. Isha?
Thank you so much, Anas, for joining us with those details. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.